Hi, this is my review for Jojo Moyes After You. This is the second book out of the Me Before You trilogy. Some of you just watched the movie, and the movie is such a romantic classic, but the book is much more deep. And those of you who read it know that it's heart-wrenching, it plays with your feelings, it rips your heart apart, it lifts your hopes up, and then it says, psych, you thought. This book is, like I said, the continuation. So basically, for those of you who know, Will Traynor was the guy that she fell in love with, and she was taking care of him. In the first book, he dies. He leaves behind a daughter that no one knew about, not even him. And the girl ends up reaching out to her. She has an accident when she reaches out to her. She's standing by the edge of her flat.
Basically, Louisa had drank wine and she was thinking of Will as she stumbled off the roof of her apartment building that she lived in because Lily sneaks up on her and calls her.
She falls, she goes to the hospital. She meets her later, tells her, I am Will Traynor's daughter. I want to meet my grandparents. I can't be home because my mother doesn't want me. I'm a rebel teenager. And the mother basically is like, you know what, I can't control her. If you want to keep her, fine. You want to take care of her, fine. Louisa takes care of her and yeah, basically takes her to her grandfather. The grandfather at first is happy to see her, but for those of you who didn't know, if you just watched the movie, in the first book, Me After You, the grandpa is having an affair with the red-haired lady. Their relationship is in shambles, but the only reason they stayed together was because of their son, Will. He's no longer alive, so he goes on, he gets married to the lady he's been having an affair with. They have a baby, and his new woman isn't so keen on having the granddaughter, because they're finally happy, and basically it's like she thinks that having a granddaughter come in from the previous relationship, from the son that is no longer there, is going to ruin basically their whole happy vibe. The girl, Lily, senses that. She runs away, says, I don't want to see you anymore, blah blah blah. Later on, the grandpa's like, come back, I do want to see you, everything's better now, I had the baby. She meets the grandma is happy to see her, and she's like, I'm gonna live with my grandma now. And Nathan, for those of you who don't know or for those of you who remember, I don't remember if Will's physical therapist, he still keeps in touch with Louisa and he offers her a job in New York.
During this time, it's worth mentioning that Louisa lives upset that she never really did anything big with her life as she'd promised Will, and she was working at a bar at the airport,
which she decides to go after all, and that's basically it. I give this book a 3 out of 5. It's a filler. I love Jojo Moyes, and please, Jojo Moyes, if you're watching this, don't get mad at me. I love her books. I feel like this book, though, is mostly a filler because people wanted to see what was going to happen after the first book. I do hear that the third book, the last book of this trilogy, has better reviews than this one, so I am gonna read it. But this one is just pretty much, it feels like filler, and it doesn't have you on edge like the first one. The first one was like the first one really had me on edge all the time. This one is just simple, it's just entertaining filler. So 3 out of 5.